Hi everybody, Marie here from Vin's. Welcome to our Life in a Meadow week. So I want to today take you all on a wildflower walk and teach you some of the tools in identifying wildflowers. Really straightforward, really basic lesson about the wildflowers that you can find all around you. Now, I was hoping that we would focus on meadow flowers today to go along with our theme, but unfortunately, there are no flowers blooming in our meadow right now. There's actually only one kind of flower that I was able to find. So we'll go take a look at that. And as we go along, I'm going to teach you some steps, really straightforward, in identifying wildflowers so that you can go out with your nature journals or your camera, take some pictures, draw some pictures, and go back and identify some flowers. So we're going to start with, although there's no flowers on it, there is a leaf pattern that I really want to show you, because the pattern and the arrangement of leaves on a flower or on the stem of the flower is one of the key factors that you're going to look at when you're identifying flowers. So let's get started. Okay, so we have come across some of the leaves I want to show you, and when identifying wildflowers, the arrangement of the leaves is actually a pretty important part of figuring out what kind of wildflower you're looking at. So there's three main types of leaf arrangements. Now, there are actually many more, but we're going to keep it pretty simple today and just go over the three most common types. So the first one is a whorled leaf arrangement. So what that means is that the leaves are radiating from a central point on the stem. It's kind of like if you think of the sun and the sun's rays. The sun is in the center and the rays are coming out all around. So that's a whorled pattern. Another one is opposite, meaning the leaf, if my finger is the stem, the leaves are arranged directly opposite one another. And the other one is alternate, meaning they're not opposite, they're more arranged like that. And we will go over all of these in real time as well. So let's find a whorled leaf pattern that I can show you an example of. These flowers are going to be in bloom all over our meadow very soon here, but this is the perfect example of one of the patterns I was talking about. Now this is our whorled leaf pattern. So you can see we have the central point and then the leaves growing all around, radiating out of that central point. So this is all over our meadows right now. This type of flower likes open woods or meadows with a lot of sun. Does anyone know what kind of flower will soon bloom from this? This is going to be a lupin plant. So lupins are very common around New England. They grow in kind of a tall stalk with a lot of flowers coming off of the one stalk, and it's kind of an irregular arrangement of flowers, and we'll go over some of the petal arrangements as well. So this is going to be a lupin. This is a perfect example of our whorled leaf pattern. Here we're at our aspen trees, and these are a great example of a what kind of leaf arrangement? What do you think? Whorled, opposite, alternate? Looking at the main stem, how are the leaves branching off? If you guessed alternate, then you are correct. You can see they're not exactly coming opposite each other. One is down here, one is up here, one is up here. So this is an alternate leaf arrangement. Okay, so here is the one wildflower I was able to find, and you can see there sure are a lot of them. They are teeny tiny, precious little flowers. And so what we want to look at is, of course, the leaf arrangement. So these are really small, so it's a little tricky to see, but Right here and right here are the leaves. Can you see that they are opposite? The leaf arrangement on this is opposite, and they are very, very small. Oh, down here is even better. So 1, 2, right across from each other. And then, so we've got the leaf arrangement, then we want to count the number of petals as well. So you can see it's got 4 petals. It's going to be uniform with each species of flower. So 4 petals. It's got that beautiful yellow in the center and the purpley blue petals. And these are called bluets. Very sweet, small flowering plant. You can see they're all over the place. So these are our little bluets. So we looked at the leaf arrangement, the amount of petals, and then I actually identified them before this video so that I could have an answer for you. So that is how I identified them. Looking at the leaf arrangement, and then the number of petals, and then the color, and then I opened my guidebook to find the answer of the little bluets. Very lucky find here. Does anyone know what this wildflower is? Now this is a spring bloomer, but there's another one too that looks very similar but different colors that comes up a little bit earlier. So let's look at these leaves, the leaf pattern, and forgive me if it gets a little blurry. So you can see those leaves. That is our whorled pattern. And then the 3 petals, the white petals, with the pink in the center. Does anyone know what this wildflower is called? This is a painted trillium. Really, really spectacular flower. Simple and beautiful like so many other wildflowers out there. So our painted trillium with whorled leaves and 3 petals. What a great find. I found our other early bloom trillium, and you can see really well here the 3 whorled leaves, and then a different flower. This is our purple trillium. So these you may have been seeing for the last few weeks. They've got a much longer stalk as well than that painted trillium. So we have our awesome purple trillium here. So trillium, again, just those 3 giant whorled leaves is very telling of this plant. So these wildflowers are really awesome because they just look so odd. So there's no leaves on the stalk or the stem, you can see right here. And looking at their petals, in the video it kind of looks like there's only 2, but there's actually 4. So there's 2 opposite here and 2 opposite here. So there's 4 of them. So 4 petals, no leaves, really interesting shape. These are called Dutchman's breeches. And they kind of look like an old style of pant called pantaloons. So if you don't know what pantaloons are, you should look them up because they look like these Dutchman's breeches. So a really cool flower. Also super duper fragrant. They smell really, really good. So Dutchman's breeches, awesome. I am glad we found this one because these ones are quickly drying up, and we also have a spider friend right there, a crab spider that blends in perfectly well with the yellow. So before these even bloom, these are an early spring flower, and before they bloom you can tell where they're going to come up because of their leaves. They've got really distinct leaves. There's some over here too. And the leaves give a hint to what their name is. Does anyone know what kind of flower this is? So this is our trout lily. And someone told me when they were teaching me about flowers that they're called trout lilies, or a great way to remember them is because the leaves look like the scales on a fish, if you use your imagination. So trout lilies, they actually, it looks like they have 6 petals, but in fact they only have 3. The other 3 are what are called the sepals. So you can see back here, there's some that have more red. The ones with the more red are the sepals. So when the flower closes up at night when it's cold, or in the day when it's cold, you see those sepals. So it has 3 petals and 3 sepals, which kind of make it look like it has 6. So this is our trout lily and our crab spider. I'll leave them alone. Thank you all so much for joining me on our wildflower walk today. I hope you learned something. So remember, when you're out there, just look at the flowers, look at the leaf pattern and the leaf arrangement, look at the color, the structure of the stem. I've been using Audubon's field guide to wildflowers of North America. There's a lot of other great resources out there. You can use iNaturalist, where you just take a picture with your phone, and when you get back to Wi-Fi you can submit it and it'll help you identify the plant. A guide like this is a little bit more work intensive. There's also a lot of online guides as well. So I hope you enjoyed identifying the bluets and the trilliums and the trout lily and the Dutchman's breeches, and I think that was everything. And stay tuned this week. Again, our Life in the Meadow series on Wednesday, we'll be doing a raptor encounter with a bird who thrives in open spaces like meadows. And then of course Friday will be our campfire stories. So I hope you enjoy it. You can see the forest is livening up so much. We've got birds, we've got flowers, we've got blooming trees, and we've got bugs too. So I hope you guys enjoy and get out there and have fun. See you soon.